So, what did you miss at Jubilee today? Well, um, yeah, you missed quite a day. You missed a day of celebration, of summer, of grieving, of struggle. We sang, we spent time together. We wondered about faith. We heard Paul in his letter to the Hebrews speak of faith as belief in things unseen, hope, and so we wondered about that a little bit. But we also listened to the prophet Isaiah, and starting in the first chapter, we hear Isaiah speaking for a God who's angry. I reared children and brought them up, but they have rebelled against me, and your country lies desolate, God says. And so, what to me are this multitude of sacrifices? I have enough of your burnt offerings, and I am done with rams and fed beasts, and I don't care about the blood of bulls or lambs or goats. And why do you keep doing this, trampling my courts with all that? I don't care. Your hands are full of blood. All of this is a burden to me. And you call to me with your hands full of blood, and I have no desire to answer. I've given you what you need. We wondered why that seems so relevant in 2019 when there are shootings in our community, mass shootings just below our border. There is ugly, horrific racism. There is anger and vitriol. There is determined, angry privilege that will not let go. That passage from Isaiah says, everything lies in ruins, and I gave you what you need, but you would rather just send thoughts and prayers than do anything about it. You would rather double down on your faith stance or your political stance rather than recognize that everything is falling apart. Your children are suffering and dying, and rather than comforting them, you're too busy blaming the other guy. It seems that Isaiah is saying that to us. And so we began to wonder, then, what is faith? So if faith isn't just belief in things unseen, like, oh gosh, if we believe in God, everything's okay. But in fact, faith, and it's that one line in Isaiah, argue this out with me. We realize that faith is an argument with God. And by argument, we don't mean the way we see arguments presented on TV today, where one side shouts at the other and just insists on their rightness. We're talking about an argument where you put forth your proposition, your perspective, your view, and then another person offers theirs, and we listen to each other. And we examine our differences and our commonalities, and we try to create together something new, something that neither of us alone could have understood. God says, let's argue this one out. Let's argue this out. Let's treat each other as partners in this. And that's the way that we will wash the blood from our hands, according to Isaiah. That's the way that we will get things right. That's the way that our children can stop buying bulletproof backpacks so that they can go to school. When we actually argue with God, that is to treat God as if God matters. And in turn, God treats us like we matter. And if we could do that with God, wouldn't it be amazing if we could do that with each other? I mean, isn't that how we experience God? That we experience God in Scripture? Scripture that offers so many perspectives, often contradicting, that we need to share it. God speaks to us in prayer, that quiet time that we shut out the noise of the world and we just wonder and listen. God speaks to us in community as we gather together and share our perspectives and try to understand. That, according to Isaiah, is what faith is. Faith is arguing with God, treating God like God matters, instead of as a bumper sticker saying that supports what we already believe. Imagine that. That's what we talked about at Jubilee today. We prayed. We prayed for the argument to continue. We prayed for those in our community who are suffering. We prayed in gratitude and in joy because there is much to celebrate in community. But we committed ourselves to the argument, the continued argument of faith, where we treat God as if God matters. And we know that God treats us as if we matter. And together we find the best way forward. That's what you missed at Jubilee today. But hopefully you're already arguing with God, and you'll keep arguing with God, and hopefully you'll bring that argument to us so that we can argue together, that we can learn together, that we can be faithful together. Until we get to see you soon, God bless.